due to attacks on education before now, right? We've had, I mean, the last, report on out of school in Nigeria was close to 20 million, which of course, in recent years, we've also, recorded abductions in schools, and of course, plus attacks like this due to, development, exercises. I mean, I in particular am thinking right now as a nation, even with the hardship, and all of that contributing, I think we should be having close to 30 million children already. However, tech can also help us, build. Tech can help us enable, teaching and learning even in times like this as well. For instance, we can adopt tech solutions such as e-learning, creating e-learning platforms, right? And what e-learning platforms will do is to bridge the gap of physical schools, which is access. Okay, to ensure that, for instance, what some non-profit is also doing in Lagos State, where they have some e-learning platforms where learners, in Makoko, in those, remote communities, can learn from a central location, right? So technology solutions such as that will help, address the issue of, lack of access to education. And also you have virtual classrooms as well. So what solution that this tech, innovation can bring on board is the areas of virtual learning. Okay, the areas of virtual learning, especially for communities that are, in violence, conflict, and fragile, zones, of the country. So these virtual learning platforms, these e-learning platforms, and of course, e-learning platforms will be able to facilitate learning to even these children who can, for instance, cross through a community toward their community due to crisis that is happening or issue around, climate change and all that. Then we have other technological solutions such as, AI-powered adaptive learning. So these will help learners with disabilities. These will, facilitate learning, easy learning for learners, classroom learners, say those with auditory issues, that are learners that are visually impaired and all that. Because with the new wave of artificial intelligence right now, it is right, for artificial intelligence to not just be, for government to not just be looking at how this can generate jobs or how this can solve healthcare issues, but also how can we deploy it into this comatose pillar of our society, which is the education, pillar, to see how we can revive it or resuscitate education in Nigeria, which is very, very doable, right? I believe we have the funding for this as a nation, but the political will is what I often talk about. Then we still have the giant in the room, which is teachers training and support, right? There is a way teachers can be trained in artificial intelligence, right, on how to teach, on ways to source content, on even the teaching methodologies, in using new AI teaching methodologies, using new AI tools, as new methods of delivering teaching and learning in the classrooms. For instance, last year our foundation partnered with the African University of Science and Technologies in collaboration with the World Bank and other partners to train 1,500 teachers in Ogun State. We were able to train 1,500 teachers in what we call the PSI and PMI teaching methodology. PSI simply stands for Progressive Science Initiative, and PMI stands for Progressive Maths Initiative. It is a new world method of teaching STEM in schools that was fascinating to even us, the local implementers, and of course to the teachers. And they received that training with joy. And today, when they released the last result for JAMB, you could see that among the top 10, over 60 or 70% of the best in JAMB came from that state. So we are now advocating that such training, such method of teaching, such teaching methodology can be scaled up to other states of the country and, of course, to the entire 36 states, just so that we can have teachers equipped with the right method of deploying this knowledge. Our children in Nigeria don't have amnesia. They don't have brain damage. The difference is just the language that the teacher is speaking or the style of delivery that the teacher is using.
It's different from what they know.
That is different from what they know, what they want, and of course what they can assimilate. Then finally, we have tech solutions that can also solve issues around education management system. Now, schools on their own, administrators, can even build up platforms using artificial intelligence again as a case study, right? As a tool, rather, to manage data. Now, as we stand, there are no clear figure in Nigeria to say, okay, these are the number from 2018 till now from the Chibok's period, let's even say to 2014 till now. There are no clear, decisive data right now to say, okay, these are the number of girls in Nigeria that have been abducted, or the number of boys that have been abducted, or the total number of schools that have been attacked since 2014 till now. So if we bring in and embrace a technology solution to manage our education, systems and those data, such data will be available for non-profit like ours to be able to make decisive, good, clear decisions, as to where to go to and areas to deploy solutions, in and all that. So these are things and many more, such as even online mentorship, for to talk about it right now, to even put it that way. As a system, as a foundation right now, that is the next phase that we are going into. Because these children right now are being discouraged. Imagine 1.9 million sat for an exam and 0.4, only 0.4.
God of the 300.
What do you think will happen to the rest 99.6? Psychologically, what do you think will happen to them? That's trauma already. That's huge discouragement. So there has to be need for, as a nation, for states and even local bodies, local organizations, to set up, mentoring platforms to guide these children, to encourage them, to even debunk some of the, communal and societal stereotypes on education that we have, such as education is a scam and all of that, to encourage these learners to still keep up, in their abilities, in their academics, just so that we don't have a collapsed state in the nearest future.